You know, I've not talked all day, and I think it's helping. Ladies and gentlemen, the Schumer Democrat Party Senate shutdown is hours away. This must be the first shutdown in American history with a party shutting it down, the Senate Democrats, Schumer, and the other Democrats, all but Fetterman, are shutting it down because they do not want fraud, waste, and abuse uncovered and stopped. They do not want upwards of 10% of the income taxes you pay that's going to foreign countries for outrageous things. $100 billion in Social Security. A total ripoff. They don't know where it's gone. Up to $500 billion a year, says the GAO. That's a government accounting office. Says we don't know where the money goes. And Donald Trump and the Republicans are saying, well, we want to know, and we're going to find it, and we're going to cut it. And because of that, the Democrats want to shut down the government. 2.4 to 2.5 million bureaucrats. They've never had a government-wide reduction in force, ever. And so the President of the United States, with the support of the House and Senate Republicans, he says, look, we got to shave the bureaucracy. We're not going to eliminate it. Essential personnel stay. We're not going to touch Social Security. We're not going to touch Medicare. We're going to get off of Medicaid individuals, illegal aliens, and others who are not supposed to be draining that system. We're going to get them off of that system to save the system. We need more beds for illegal aliens. We've got the border secure. We need to keep it that way. I want to make sure there's not a 1 penny tax increase for blue-collar, white-collar, middle-class Americans. I want to give a tax cut for senior citizens. No taxes on Social Security benefits. He says no taxes on tips. No taxes on overtime. He wants to provide tax credits to help people who are looking after the individuals in their home who are ill. And the Democrats want you to believe those are tax cuts for billionaires and the rich. It has nothing to do with billionaires and the rich. It has to do with getting the federal government under control so they stop blowing your money. It's your money. It's to give hardworking men and women a break. It's to make sure your taxes don't go up, particularly in an economy like this. And the Democrat Party under Schumer is going to shut down the government because they disagree with all of that. And they're going to use their usual lies. Tax cuts for the rich. Every time they say that, how is not taxing tips tax cuts for the rich? That's your reply. How is not taxing Social Security benefits tax cuts for the rich? How is not taxing overtime tax cuts for the rich? These are for people who earn modest wages or who are retired. When they say he wants to kill Social Security, ask them, when did he say that? How's he going to do that? When they say he wants to destroy Medicare, ask them, when did he say that? How's he going to do that? When they say he wants to destroy Medicaid, you ask them, why should we pay for illegal aliens on Medicaid? That's not destroying Medicaid, that's saving Medicaid. Why won't they pay for more security on the border? Because they want open borders. It's the same old radical Democrat Party. It's the party of the Marxists and the Islamists. It's the party of Bernie Sanders and AOC. That's what it is. What's their agenda, America? What is it that they're offering Americans? What is it that they say every day that appeals to you, that intrigues you, that interests you? They say nothing. Nothing. They try and create boogeymen with Elon Musk. Elon Musk is going to save you, every single American, $1 trillion. And so they attack it. This is the big government party. This is the Washington, D.C. party. This is the ruling class. So they're going to shut down the government and claim that they're protecting the government. Now, I'm Mark Levin. I don't run anything. I've got no problem. Go ahead and shut it down. But I am pointing out who they are and what they are. Think of their logic. They want you to believe. They want you to believe. They think you're so stupid. They want you to believe that they're going to shut down the government to save the government. They want you to believe they're going to hand out pink slips all across the government in order to save the bureaucrats. They want you to believe that they are going to freeze payments under Medicaid and all these other programs because they're protecting those programs. These are cheap, pathetic politicians. They're shutting down the government because they want somehow they and their corrupt Democrat Party, Al Jazeera, Pravda Media, to give them air cover, to blame the Republicans and Trump. But the Republicans passed a funding bill in the House. Last week, the Senate Republicans can pass the spending bill in the Senate, although that kook, Rand Paul, who endorsed Trump like 14 minutes ago, he's going to vote with the Democrats because there's not enough. Yeah, we know. Get off the stage, you moron. Anyway, John Fetterman's going to vote with the Republicans, so that's a neutral. But they had the filibuster rule in the Senate. So even though a majority of senators will vote for the bill that came out of the House and President Trump is prepared to sign it, the Democrats, the minority in the Senate, are going to use the filibuster rule to affirmatively shut down the government and try and convince you that they're shutting down the government to save the government, when in fact all they're saving is waste, fraud, and abuse. They would rather cut your services than reduce the federal bureaucracy by one bureaucrat. They don't represent you, America. They don't represent you, Mr. and Mrs. America. And this is going to prove it. The Chuck Schumer Senate Democrat shutdown. They're not going to convince anybody that what they're doing is sincere. They're not going to convince anybody that what they're doing makes sense. They're not going to convince anybody that what they're doing is earnest. No way. No way. And I'm not the only one who knows that. Senator Gillibrand in New York, she's aware of it. Aisha Hasni, who reports for Fox News, a very damn good reporter, by the way. She tweets, Gillibrand is screaming so loud we can hear her through the thick wood doors. That's Aisha Hasni, top reporter. Andrew DeCirio, he posts, I can hear Senator Kirsten Gillibrand speaking quite loudly inside the Senate Democrat lunch. She seems to be making the case against allowing the government to shut down. She is screaming at the top of her lungs, which she's good at. She does that often. But she's screaming at the top of her lungs at the Democrat Senate lunch that this is insane, that this strategy is incoherent, that we, the Senate Democrats, are going to get blamed for this, that this is going to be politically painful for the Democrats, because, of course, that's all they care about. And yet you watch, she's still going to vote for the shutdown, despite screaming in the back. I told you before in the great book that I wrote, the last one, The Democrat Party Hates America. The Democrat Party, not all Democrats, the Democrat Party, the leadership, the masterminds, the institution, those who run it, they hate America. They really hate America. They want this bloat. They want this massive fraud that's taking place. They want the money pouring out to countries we've never heard of before for woke things like sex change operations and condoms and God knows what else. They have spent billions of dollars on DEI, indoctrination, illegal racism. You folks understand that when they shut down the government, there will be essential employees. But that said, isn't it funny how they talk about the FAA and the men and women in the towers at the airports? I don't think they're going to be real happy, those people. The Border Patrol, TSA, I wonder if they're going to shut down the airports. Do we even know that, Mr. Producer? I'm just telling you, ladies and gentlemen, the Democrat Party is doing this not for good reasons, not because they want to cut government, save the country from bankruptcy, not because they want to cut the debt, which is creating inflation and destroying our currency. It's because they think we don't have enough waste, fraud, and abuse. Tell me one time Chuck Schumer came out and all these findings, hundreds of billions, tens of billions here and there, and said, thank God Elon Musk has found this waste, fraud, and abuse. Punish these people. Not once. Not once. So they're hoping by punishing you that you will take it out on Trump. When Trump's bill passed the House, it'll get a majority in the Senate. But Chuck Schumer and Kirsten Gillibrand and all the other Democrat senators, except for Fetterman, are going to support the shutdown. Let's be absolutely clear about this. Absolutely clear. On Life, Liberty, and Levin, my guests, it's a killer show, will be Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. You'll definitely want to hear from him. An outstanding economist for Reagan and Trump, Steve Moore. Will be Steve Moore, who's outstanding. And we're going to get into all this on Saturday, so please set your DVR for Life, Liberty, and Levin, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Saturday and Sunday. Sunday's a killer show. We're going to have Newt Gingrich with me and so forth. Josh Hammer, you're going to get to know him. He's fantastic. So don't forget, set your DVR. You can do it now, 8 p.m. Eastern, Saturday and Sunday. And watch us live. That's even more fun. We're going to dig into it. We're not going to let them get away with this. So Rand Paul endorses Donald Trump 2 months or 1 month after he wins the election because he doesn't think he's tough enough. And he's going to vote with every single Democrat except Fetterman, against the bill that came out of the House with only Massey voting against it. If Rand Paul has his way, your taxes are going to go up. The Border Patrol won't get the money it needs. The military won't be funded as it should be. And Rand Paul hates the military. He does. All these guys do. They all come out of this weird Koch Soros cabal. They're kind of hanging around, you know. They support Russia over Ukraine. They support the Palestinian terrorists over the Israelis. They have an affinity for communist China. So what if they take Taiwan after all? And who cares about South Korea? As a matter of fact, like Mike Lee says, we ought to get out of NATO. President Trump said today, stay strong, NATO. But Mike Lee's out there. He's joined the crowd. It's unfortunate. This is where the libertarian kooks take us. They go almost full political spectrum to the hard left, pretty much.